Where are things at now? We haven't seen you in AEW since March. You'd like to be used. You want to wrestle. What's going on?
Beats me?
This isn't some low-level name who only wrestles on Rampage. And then he just vanished. So it's only logical that fans are going to have questions. There's nothing wrong with that. What's not logical is that Ricky Starks doesn't even know why he's not being used. It's one thing if you or me don't know. We don't work there. We don't have a pipeline to Tony Khan. And if he doesn't want to tell us, he doesn't have to tell us. Ricky Starks works for AEW. He gets a paycheck from Tony Khan. Even he does not know why he is not being used.
And this anonymous superstar kind of trying to fish for information, try to make Ricky Starks look bad and make Ricky Starks feel bad about all this. That type of behavior comes from the top. That type of behavior trickles down from the top. So whoever this anonymous superstar was clearly is in the ear of someone at the top and is in that top circle, because that type of mentality from somebody on the roster who is an equal to Ricky Starks, that type of comment is not going to be said. You, if you're equal to Ricky Starks, you should be supportive of Ricky Starks and proud that Ricky Starks was able to be there to support his friend. I thought we were all friends here. Now all of a sudden it's a fucking problem. All we hear about is that these locker rooms, they support each other, and AEW's, health and well-being is great for the business, and we all support each other, tribalism and all this other shit. That one type of comment can be taken out of context 1,000 different fucking ways, and if you have that comment stated to Ricky Starks, oh, you shouldn't be there because it looks bad on us. Who do you think that comes from? It comes from the top. That's why the locker room mentality is the way that it is.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Barbed wire rings failing to catch fire off the shoulder of Daly's place. I've watched main eventers fired near the Piccadilly Circus. All of these moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. They'll be lost because they've now occurred so much that they've become a pattern. Kino crew, I'm sick. Physically, my bones quake, my head aches, but my spirit is troubled, more so than all of those physical symptoms, because of how they've treated my boy, my close personal friend, Ricky Starks. Yep, we've seen the rumors and rumblings come from Jacksonville High's school newspapers and the wrestling media that have all painted him as some kind of ungrateful politician, a man of influence, refusing creative, a man so unreasonable, soft and high-strung that he's refusing to get his act together and draw money for the company. Never seen this before. There's been a situation developing around this that I believe is another big mistake in a company that over the last year and a half has come to be defined by these. But in order to accurately document the controlled demolition of Ricky Starks' career, we have to go back to the land of the Redcoats.
A physical altercation broke out backstage between CM Punk and Jack Perry just prior to the opening match of AEW All In.
Rumors at the time had suggested that CM Punk had been scheduled for a match with Ricky Starks at the All Out pay-per-view, which would have taken place a week or so after the incident. Instead, Bryan Danielson took CM Punk's place, and they admittedly had a classic on the fly. But in the months following Punk's firing, Collision completely lost its identity. The things that had differentiated the show began to disappear, and while there was never a hard brand split per se, we started to see Tony Khan's creative influence rot the show into Rampage tier relevance. And many people seemingly just couldn't shake the feeling that those on Punk's original Collision roster were being targeted.
Yeah, I don't want to name everybody because I don't want people to be punished any further for being my friend.
Which is what ultimately brings us here today. Ricky Starks has been largely absent from most of AEW's programming this year, and no one can truly get a straight answer as to why. Not even the man himself.
I have 1,000 theories about what's really going on. The fact of the matter is that if I don't have a definitive answer, I can't just make up an answer for people and just assume. You know what I'm saying? Would I love to know the exact reason? For sure. Do I have speculations about why? Absolutely. But that does nothing to speak on things that I speculate does nothing for the situation, right? So I think it's just a matter of, it sucks. It's been a very cold day here in Austin. It's been a very cold day. It may have been cold for the past 9 months. I'm not sure. But thankfully, I have a sweater, and I'm always ready to keep the warmth going, you know?
Amidst the predictable dirt sheet industrial complex campaign where, amidst a wrestler's absence, a bunch of strange rumors are all coincidentally planted in the media where the company is trying everything to work with a guy, but either one guy's wife is too annoying, another guy's too unbalanced and crazy, or a third guy is friends with them both. So with all that smoke, Ricky Starks recently went on Chris Van Vliet's podcast, and things began to spark. In this interview, Ricky illuminated details on some key moments that fans point to as possibly playing into his current positioning on the AEW card.
I had people from my job being like, I had one guy, he was just like, were you at the Rumble last night? I said, yeah, and what the fuck about it? What about it? He goes, just saying that's a bad look, you know? I said, how is it a bad look? I can't control somebody taking a security footage while I'm walking to a bus. I don't control that. Like, how is that? Tell me how that is a bad look. We got people on our own program talking about other people at the other company, but yet me having my security footage exposed is a bad look? Give me a break.
He also discussed some of his work with GCW, which is where this went from smoke, spark, to a full-blown bus fire.
My company, I don't run a company. Our company, GCW can't run on a $40 million deficit and continue to run shows. But some of us have the privilege of being able to run at a $40 million deficit.
Brett doesn't own a football team?
Brett does not own a football team. Brett doesn't have a dad who pays him to stay away. I don't want this to be a personal thing.
Tuesday, Starks have been pulled from all of his upcoming GCW appearances. Includes unannounced matches in December, an unannounced match at their Hammerstein Ballroom event January 19th. Shortly before the announcement, Fightful Select reported it was AEW's move to pull Starks' appearances, decision being made November 26th. AEW was unhappy regarding GCW star Effie's recent comments regarding Shad Khan and Tony Khan and AEW running the Hammerstein Ballroom 1 month prior to GCW's event.
Now AEW is in a position where a number of its issues have converged at once. The existence of these rumor campaigns that the company traffics, mixed with the seeming targeting of Cody and Punk associates, has created an image of a company without security. Security in its image, what it stands for, and the very legitimacy of its leader. You can't have it both ways. You can't be a company that champions wrestler freedom, then imprison them when they ask for the chance to roam in greener pastures. You can't champion and associate with indie culture, then undermine it publicly with moves like this. And if you're AEW, you need to decide who you are, and fast. Because if you ask the court of public opinion, they'll call you a clusterfuck. But if you ask me, I'd say it's feeling like 2019, and I'd just call you Vince McMahon. So, Kino crew, however you lead, whoever you hire, fire, or sabotage, Just keep it Kino, because life is cinema.